All right, what's up guys and welcome back. Episode 2 of Journey to Building My Dream Rig. My name's Asher, this is Ford Ranger, and today we're gonna be paint matching a camper shell in my parents' driveway. Here we have a brand new camper shell. This is a Lear 122 high rise. I managed to find this on Facebook Marketplace for about $400. It's in fantastic condition. It came with a roof rack, and the obvious, it is not matching, but that brings us to today's video. We're gonna be taking on the process of painting this bad boy. With me today, we have the special guest, my good friend from high school and a local automotive bodywork specialist, Pacen. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick to the viewers that have yet to meet you.
As you heard, my name is Pacen. What I do for a living is I'm an automotive paint technician. I do it mobilely. So here I am today to do some mobile work for Asher, getting his canopy paint matched.
Quick rundown of what that process is gonna look like. First, we have to finish setting up the DIY paint booth in the back. Then we're gonna be taking off the camper from the truck. At that point, we're moving into professional territory. So Pacen, why don't you go ahead and explain your process?
We're gonna go ahead and get the roof rails removed, mask up the windows, and then we'll continue on with our sealer, paint, and clear coating process. All right, so we are currently setting up the paint booth, our DIY paint booth. We have Asher taking off plastics, blocking off the very back side and the left side of this so we can prevent some of the overspray getting on the house. And so we don't have a draft pulling all the way through. We want to prevent as much overspray as possible. After we get this paint booth set up, we are going to take the canopy off, get it set up in here, and we'll do prep start to finish and get it painted in the next 2 hours.
That's perfect. All right, step 2 of this process, as you can see, Pacen is currently taken off. We got 4 bolts, and then we can easily remove this camper shell. We'll get it moved off and set up onto those tables. From there, we can mask off the windows, get the roof rack off, and then begin sanding. Super easy to do, especially when you're jacked like us, you know.
Okay.
Cool.
Dang.
Yeah, broke a little sweat. A little sweaty.
All right, so we're about to start the prepping process. The prep process is the most important part of the operation. First off, we're gonna start with masking off the windows, get the roof rails taken off, which Asher is working on right now. Once we get that all done up, we're gonna start sanding from 320, go to 600, maybe about 800 after that. And then we're gonna start with our sealer, and we're gonna lay a couple layers of base coat and 2 layers of clear. Starting the sanding process, starting with 320, we're gonna jump to 600, and then we'll see how we're feeling about that for sealer. So here we go.
Maybe a slight chippage.
That's fine.
Sorry, dog.
No, dude, the showers are pretty strong. I've dropped the pump so many times. All right, so we are on the final steps before paint. Asher is blowing this down. We're gonna get it wiped off with wax and degreaser. And then we're gonna take a tack rag over the rest of it, make sure it's completely ready for paint. Not to mention, I did not bring my sealer, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that step. We're gonna lay probably 3 coats of base just to be safe. Make sure there's no prepping texture beneath it. And then we'll clear coat it and call it a day from there. We're looking pretty good. I think it's time to start painting.
So what is this that you're doing right now?
I am reducing the paint. This is essentially a thinner that'll help it spray more fine. Since I use a turbine, it only sprays at 9 PSI max. And for the painters out there that know how to get a glassier finish, you gotta crank up that PSI. So because we can't do that, we over reduce, but you gotta be careful, can't over reduce too much. Add a little bit more, just to really call it good. This will help us make sure the paint levels out, doesn't give us too much orange peel, and ultimately will look a little bit flatter for when the clear coat goes on. All right, this process does get a little stinky. Get this guy on. We're PPE, folks. All right, this is the last step. We're about to start the clear coat process. We're done for the night. Stay tuned.
Yeah. All right, back at my house. It's been a few days since the last recording. We got the camper shell and roof rack reassembled and put back on the truck. There is just one last thing to do before the grand reveal. Shout out to my buddy at Maximum Studios. He was able to hook me up with these stickers last minute for this video. We're gonna go ahead and slap this boy on the camper shell, and then we will do the reveal. I also wanted to give a massive thank you to Pacen. This video truly would not have been possible without him. So everybody go and give him a follow, links in the description. Also wanted to thank you guys for watching. If you're interested in me making more content like this, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. That being said, the moment you've all been waiting for, the grand reveal.